You know that feeling, right? That sudden awful dread when water starts rising. A street turns into a river. Maybe your own basement becomes a pool. Well, forever. The response has been the same backbreaking work. Sandbags. Heavy, muddy, exhausting. But what if there was a smarter way? An almost, dare I say, elegant way to defend against it? Today we're doing a deep dive into something genuinely revolutionary. We're looking at these innovative, mobile water barrier systems. They promise to completely change how we protect, well, everything. Homes, businesses, whole communities. Forget the old ways.
Exactly. And our mission here is to explore systems that aren't just effective, though they certainly are, but ones that are also incredibly fast, really flexible, and much more sustainable. We're moving beyond those historical methods. We'll look at the tech, how they actually work, and where they're making a difference right now.
Yeah, it's about getting proactive, not just reacting.
Precisely. Intelligent defense.
And we've got some solid stuff to look at. Product details, technical specs, even lists of who's actually using these things from companies like Beaver Protection Systems and Lenoir. So we should get a really good picture of what's going on. Now, we all know the impact of storms, floods. It's huge. Billions in damage every year. And the stress, the psychological toll on people is immense. This threat just keeps growing, which makes this topic feel, well, urgent.
Absolutely. And when you look at how often these extreme events are happening now, it really highlights why the old ways just aren't cutting it anymore. Think about sandbags. Seriously, it's not just the sheer physical effort, is it?
Well, no, it's brutal.
Right. Filling them, stacking them, losing precious time in an emergency. But there's more. The logistics trucks, tons of sand. And then what do you do with all those contaminated bags afterwards? Disposal is a huge cost and an environmental headache.
Yeah, I never really thought about the disposal part.
Exactly. And that's precisely where these new systems come in. They're designed to tackle those inefficiencies, those ecological problems. That sets the stage for the innovation we're about to dive into.
Okay, let's unpack the first one then. The Beaver flood fence. It's described as freestanding, mobile. Sounds almost too simple. How does something light actually stop floodwater? I'm still picturing heavy sandbags.
That's the brilliant part, isn't it? Its design is all about efficiency. Each piece, each element weighs only 4 kilograms. They call it the lightest of its kind.
4 kilos, wow.
Yeah, and that lightness means speed. One single person can put up a 100-meter barrier in less than an hour.
Less than an hour compared to sandbags.
It's night and day, crucial minute saved. So how does it stay put? It's self-anchoring. It doesn't need its own weight like sandbags do.
Yep.
It uses the water. The pressure of the rising floodwater pushes the barrier down against the ground.
Okay, so the higher the water.
The tighter the seal, the more secure it becomes. It basically uses the flood's own force against itself.
That is clever.
Yeah.
Really counterintuitive, but smart. What's it made of? Just standard plastic.
No, it's made from ABS. That's a high-performance thermoplastic.
ABS, okay. Why that specifically?
Well, it's not just tough, it's got great impact resistance. Think about debris and floodwater and chemical stability, too. So even contaminated water isn't going to degrade it quickly. That's key.
Right. Makes sense.
Plus, it's designed for ease of use. Tool-free connection. They say it's self-explanatory, even family-friendly. You don't need specialized training like firefighters might have. Anyone can pretty much figure it out.
So, super light, fast setup, uses the water's weight.
Yeah.
And you mentioned it's modular. That sounds flexible. How does that work in practice? Like, for storing it?
That modularity is huge. You can connect pieces to make almost any length, any shape you need, curve it around corners, follow the terrain.
Okay.
And for storage, highly stackable. You can get about 40 elements on one standard Euro pallet.
40 on one pallet? That's tiny compared to truckloads of sand.
Exactly. Logistically, it's just so much simpler. Transport, storage, everything.
I can see homeowners loving that, businesses too. But what about bigger applications, more unusual uses?
Oh, the applications are really broad. Beyond just protecting houses and buildings, think about emergency services. Channeling or collecting firefighting water, creating temporary basins after, say, a chemical spill. It's useful on construction sites, too, especially near water.
So it's more than just a flood barrier, it's a versatile tool.
Absolutely. It kind of redefines what's possible in emergency water management. And get this, it's resistant to seawater, and you can use it in winter. Freezing temperatures don't impair it. That adaptability is pretty impressive.
Okay, that flood fence sounds great for quick, localized stuff. But what if you need something bigger, more heavy duty? That brings us to the Beaver Protective Dam. This sounds like a different beast altogether. A proper dam, powered by water itself.
Yeah, this scales things up significantly. The protective dam uses two parallel chambers, or tubes, connected together. How it works is, first, you fill these chambers with air.
Air. Why air?
Just makes them light and easy to position. Get them exactly where you need them. Then you connect the sections. There's a cuff system, lets you make it as long as you need, follows the land's contours.
Okay, so positioned with air.
Yeah.
Then what?
Then comes the magic. You fill those chambers with water.
Water.
Yep. From a hydrant, pump it from a nearby river or lake, or even use the approaching floodwater itself. That water weight gives it immovable stability. That's the key. Massive anchoring force without heavy machinery.
So it gets its strength from the very thing it's fighting.
Precisely. And it's scalable, too. Need more height?
Yeah.
You can place a third unit right on top of the two water-filled ones. So a 30-centimeter barrier can become 45 centimeters. A big 130-centimeter one can go up to 190 centimeters.
Wow. That's adaptable.
Very. Lets you respond dynamically as the situation changes.
And the comparison with Sandbags here is just, well, it's kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Let's walk through the numbers for a 100-meter dam, 80 centimeters high.
Right, it's stark. For Sandbags, you need about 20 people, 5 trucks, 130,000 kilograms of sand.
130 tons.
Yep. Around 6,500 sandbags. And it takes about 5 hours just to build it.
5 hours. Okay, now the Beaver Dam.
5 helpers, 1 car, maybe with a small trailer, 5 Beaver Dam units, and setup time, 1 hour.
1 hour. 5 people versus 20. 1 car versus 5 trucks. There's no comparison, is there?
It really highlights the difference between fighting nature brute force and working with its principles intelligently.
Just picturing that. All those people, the trucks, the sheer volume of sand, it really makes you rethink what's necessary, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Think of the savings. Time, money, manpower. In a crisis, that's invaluable. It could literally save lives, save property. And this isn't some newfangled gadget. It's been in use worldwide for over 2 decades.
2 decades. Okay, so it's proven technology.
Very much so. They call it the best-selling system in countless serious operations. That speaks volumes. Plus, it's reusable, stores compactly, and no contaminated waste to dispose of afterwards. Huge ecological plus.
And it's not just about stopping water getting in. You mentioned broader uses.
Right. Protecting whole areas, villages, towns, farmland, safeguarding specific sites like factories, power plants, campsites.
But then there were those other uses. Water storage.
Yeah, really innovative stuff, using them as catch basins after accidents. Or, think about this, decay basins for electric vehicle fires.
EV fires. That's a very modern problem.
Exactly. Shows the system adapting. Also used for holding firefighting water, even helping with ship repairs in dry docks.
And the crossing water thing. Footbridges, rafts.
Yeah. Temporary footbridges over high water, floats for temporary bridges. Apparently, you can even stick an outboard motor on one and use it as a raft.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Talk about multifunctional.
It really shows a shift towards adaptable tools for all sorts of modern challenges, not just floods.
All right, let's switch gears slightly. There's another major player here. The Lenoir Water Barrier. Shares the same goal, obviously, but comes at it maybe a bit differently. A Swiss story of success, they call it.
Yes, Lenoir brings its own distinct advantages. One standout feature is how fast it deploys. It's essentially self-erecting. The force of the incoming water actually fills the barrier.
The water fills it. How does that work?
It's designed so the pressure pushes water into the barrier structure itself, filling it up to a meter high depending on the model. As they say, the force of the water does the rest of the work. It's passive, which is very clever.
Okay, so it uses the water's energy directly.
Yeah.
And expendability.
Yep. It's like a Beaver system, infinitely expandable. Connect them end-to-end for any length of game you need. And a big plus, they work on almost all streets, roads, fields, even riverbeds, and difficult conditions too.
That versatility on different ground sounds really useful. Emergencies don't usually happen on perfect lawns.
And they have another new feature, an optional opening at the bottom.
Beaver-Schutzdämme sind
For
die
controlled
Alternative
draining.
zu Sandsacken.
Imagine you've contained
Preisfeste
polluted water, maybe an
PVC-Z-Planern
oil spill
werden
or chemical
hochfrequent
leak
zu
mixed
Schläuchen
with
verschweißt
floodwater.
und können
This
ganze
lets you
Orte
siphon off
vor
that
Wassermassen
contaminated
schützen.
layer safely. It's thinking beyond just blocking the water towards managing the aftermath.
That is smart. Dealing with the contamination,
Beaver-Schutzdämme
too. Their
können
claim,
sehr rasch
sandbags
aufgebaut
are a
werden.
thing of the past, starts to sound pretty convincing, especially when they say it's proven themselves in numerous emergency situations.
Zusammengerollt können die
Real-world
Schläuche von
validation.
2 Mann
Absolutely.
getragen
And
werden.
that reliability means they're trusted by a wide range of users. Towns, fire departments, the army,
Der erste Schritt zum
businesses,
Aufbau
even
ist das
individual
Ausrollen.
homeowners. Beyond
Biberschläuche
floods, people
gibt
use
es in
them
Längen
for
von
water
5,
calling, maybe
10 und
slowing
20
flow in a
Metern.
channel. Dealing with
Dann
burst
wird
pipes or
ausgeklappt,
hydrants,
denn
creating
2
temporary water
Biberschläuche
reservoirs for
sind fest
firefighters.
miteinander
Again,
verbunden
quite
und
versatile.
ergeben einen
Very.
Biberdamm.
And that ability
Das
to
gibt
deploy quickly
Stabilität
on
und
roads on
verhindert ein
different terrains,
Wegrollen.
it really minimizes potential damage
Als
in lots of
nächstes werden die
scenarios.
Biberschläuche mit
Plus,
Luft gefüllt.
reusable, easy
Am
transport,
einfachsten und
minimal
schnellsten geht
storage
das
space,
mit einem
all the same
Motorgebläse,
benefits.
das mit
So, for
Schlauch
you
und
listening,
55er
the big takeaway
Staatskupplung
here is that these aren't
angeschlossen
just prototypes or niche ideas.
Yeah.
They're being used right now by some major players. That trust tells a story in itself.
Oh, definitely. If you look at who uses them, the lists are impressive. Government bodies like the Swiss Federal Roads Office, municipal water and sewage authorities across different regions. These are organizations responsible for critical infrastructure.
And big companies too, right? I saw names like Audi, Swisscom.
Yes, major corporations. Red Bull, SBB, which is the Swiss
Ein
Federal
patentiertes
Railways,
System
Miele,
ermöglicht,
Radisson Blue
dass
Hotels,
Biberdämme
the list goes on.
endlos
It shows
aneinander
trust from
gefügt
the
werden
private
können.
sector too.
Die
And
beiden
specialized
Schläuche sind
industries.
versetzt
Absolutely.
angeordnet,
Pipeline
ein
companies like
Ende ist
Tail,
offen
engineering
und hier
firms,
verjüngen sich die
chemical
Schläuche nach
companies
oben.
like Evonik,
Am anderen
medical
Ende
tech like the
verjüngen sie sich nach
Recentes,
unten
even
und
schools
sind
like
mit
the
einem
Swiss
Stulp
International
versehen.
School.
Wow. Okay, so from military and government to global brands, utilities, heavy industry. It really covers the spectrum.
It does, and that wide
Die
adoption
beiden
really
Enden
underlines the
passen
point. These
zusammen
systems are
und der Stulp
robust,
wird übergezogen.
versatile, and seen as
So sind
reliable
die
solutions
Verbindungen
across
dicht.
many different sectors.
It shows a fundamental shift is happening in how we approach water threats.
So just to kind of wrap up the key points we've seen across all these systems,
Die
Beaver and more,
Packgurte
the big
werden jetzt
advantages are
montiert,
clear.
damit sie
The
bis
speed
zum
of
Abbau
deployment,
nicht
the
verloren
modular
gehen.
flexibility, the
Jetzt
fact they're
können die
reusable, the
Biberdämme in
cost-effectiveness
jede
over
gewünschte
time,
Position
and that
mit
really
Ecken und
ingenious use
Kurven
of water's
gebracht
own
werden.
weight for something.
Yeah, that self-anchoring principle is amazing.
It really is. And when you contrast that with the sheer labor,
Im
the
letzten
logistics
Arbeitsschritt
nightmare,
werden
the
die
waste
Biberschläuche
involved with
nun mit Wasser
sandbags,
befüllt.
it's just a different world.
Feuerwehrschläuche werden mit der
Absolutely. And this
Sturzkupplung
deep dive, it's
angeschlossen.
not just about
Das
listing
Wasser
features,
wird aus
is it?
Hydranten
It's about
oder mit
understanding
Pumpe
the value
gleich
of
aus dem
this
Hochwasser
knowledge.
führenden
These systems
Gewässer geholt.
empower people, empower communities. They turn that frantic, chaotic fight against water into something manageable, something proactive.
Well said. It's about building resilience in a smart way. Which leads to a final thought.
Aus
Really.
diesen
We
kleinen
know
Öffnungen
extreme weather is
entweicht
becoming
nun die
more
Luft
common,
und
more
sobald
intense.
das Wasser
So
austritt,
if systems
werden
like
sie
these
verschlossen.
agile,
Nun
self-stabilizing,
liegen die
eco-friendly,
Biberschutzstämme
somewhat
stabil.
spread,
Immerhin
how might that
wiegen 20
fundamentally
Meter
change?
Doppelschlauch,
Think about
gefüllt mit
urban
Wasser rund
planning,
12
disaster
Tonnen. Sie
preparedness.
passen sich
Could we
optimal
shift
dem
entirely
Untergrund
from
an
just reacting
und die
to damage
Verbindung
to
zum
actually
Boden
building proactive resilience into the fabric of our communities? What really stands out to you about the potential impact these kinds of technologies could have on how we manage water in the future?